The other two wide receivers, including Breaston, in the slot to the near side. Final play at Michigan Stadium. 4th down, 1 second left. Michigan trailing by 4. Henne fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Manningham! Michigan wins! What a finish.
It's just a slant. It's a quick drop. 5 steps. 2 receivers on the right side are both slanting. Manningham, the true freshman, catches his 2nd touchdown of the evening.
The Big Ten standings have been shaken in the final second in Michigan. The team's being met by the band down in the corner. The crowd is going wild. Wow. I said to Chan Henne yesterday, what was harder this week, going to practice or going back to class? He said, you know what? Some of my classmates looked at me a little bit different on Monday. I bet they don't look different this Monday. Here's how the standings look. Penn State and Wisconsin up there at 6-1, and Michigan avoids losing back-to-back games at home for the first time in 15 years. For Bob Greasy and Lynn Swan, I'm Brad Nessler saying so long from Ann Arbor. Final score, Michigan 27, Penn State 25.
Last play of the game to the 10. Henne barks something out. Breaston slot right, Manningham wide. Avent to the left. Henne dropping to throw, looking right, fires toward the end zone. Touchdown! Mario Manningham! Rolling on the coast, and Michigan will win!
Coming up on Michigan Replay, the Wolverines roar back in a big way and knock off Penn State. We'll have the highlight. And we'll look ahead to next week as we scout a tough road test against Iowa. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by Pepsi. It's the Cola. By Chevrolet. Chevy drives the Motor City. See your Detroit area Chevy dealers today or log on to DetroitAreaChevyDealers.com. By LaSalle Bank, proud to support the University of Michigan football program. LaSalle Bank, making more possible. And by Big Boy Restaurants. Big Boy makes you say, oh boy.
It's a team victory. You don't get off the mat if just 3 or 4 guys get up. It takes everybody. We had a great week of practice. We had great intensity on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's how you do it. Play for 6 minutes. You won. You won. Last week you go down to the last play. This time you went down the last play too. We finished the game.
Boy, Coach Carr got all fired up. Welcome to Michigan Replay, everybody. A classic. Michigan defeats Penn State at the Big House 27. You got fired up in there. 27-25. 1 second left on the clock. Time expires. Mario Manningham catches a laser from Chad Henne, and you win it.
That was a wild one, Jim. It's as wild as it can get, I think.
Here's the key, though, the key play of the game. And I want you to go over this. At one point, there were 28 seconds on the clock, and you lobbied the referees. I need 2 more seconds. Actually, you wanted 4. You thought it was 32 seconds left. But they gave you 30, and those extra 2 seconds became huge.
Well, I think the referee saw what I saw. He didn't see exactly what I saw, but he knew that I had called that timeout before those seconds, and so it worked out.
How hard did you have to work to get those extra 2 seconds?
Well, what I appreciate is the linesman did not. He was trying to spot the ball, but he did go in and ask. And the referee had seen the clock and put 2 more seconds on it.
Turned out to be big. And you were telling me after the game, you really didn't even know who caught that final pass, did you?
Well, I knew the game was going to be over, but no, I didn't know.
unbelievably. All I knew it was a touchdown.
But you said you put your headsets on, but you were too late to actually hear the play.
To get the call, yeah. Yeah, because I was.
So you had to watch it like the rest of us?
Like the rest of it. I just knew one thing. The game was going to end.
And it did, and it ended in Michigan's favor. We'll be right back and take a look at the wonderful highlights of the classic victory. But first we hear from Matt Lentz, who says, a 2-minute drill is no big deal.
It's just like practice with 110,000 people watching. Coaches have us go through that every day after, when practice is over, we run our own 2-minute drill, so we make sure everything's going. And everybody executed today, and it's a full team effort.
We had 60 minutes. Coaches, every time, you know, they always preach that we got to fight to 60 minutes. And today showed that we fight from first minute to the last minute and first second to the last second, you know, and we just got it done, and thank the Lord for the victory.
It was a 27-25 victory for Michigan in the final second. The game ends, but it started like a low-scoring, kind of tedious defensive affair because in the first half there were only 3 points scored.
Well, Jim, if you like defensive football, you get a lot for the first half, that's for sure.
The Mays rage was out.
You know, that was a wonderful thing to see there. And there you see Michael Robinson. Prescott's in good position, but the speed of the game at the beginning is always different. Here on a fourth down play in their first drive, they run the sweeper on right in, and Tony Hunt makes a complete for a first down.
Here they are on a quarterback draw, and you stop them. This is a 3rd and 2. This is a big stop in the red zone.
Well, it's a great play there by Alan Branch getting penetration. And then, Jim, kicking that ball towards the north end was a nightmare, and they missed their first field goal attempt.
All right, now we go to the second quarter. Your offense continues to struggle a little bit, and Penn State starts to move again.
Well, here we get one of our young freshmen out there in the open, and David Harris, who had another great day, makes the tackle, and else that ball can come through there. Here we get miss some tackles, and Penn State's got great field position. Again, that bubble screen is a very difficult pass to defend.
But on 3rd and 2, the defense steps up.
A big play on the option. Penn State put a new wrinkle in there, and our defense came up with a big stop, and Penn State misses another field goal. So we feel pretty fortunate at this stage.
And in this next possession, you change up and put Antonio Bass at quarterback.
Well, we worked all season long on some plays for Antonio, and a great block by Michael Hart, 23 yards, and a big play in this drive because it gave us great field position. And then on this down, hard play action pass, great pass protection, and Chad hits Jason down inside the 25-yard line.
You stall, but this is a big kick.
It's a great kick, Jim.
35 yards into the wing.
Yes, it is. And Garrett, we were hoping he'd get off to a great start, and he did. That was a big kick.
Penn State comes back. This guy Robinson's hard to handle.
This Robinson makes a great play here. We knocked him down. And Grant Mason, who's playing very well for us, comes up with a tackle, but it's after a first down. Here they run Harris. Watch this play. Just a great individual play by David Harrison, our young freshman Brandon Harrison, who got his first start of the day, hustling over, gets a football, and now we get a chance offensively to get something done here.
And this is right before the half, and you're driving down to put more points on the board.
Well, Jim, what we're starting to do here late in the second half is protect the quarterback and get a little bit more time to throw. And we run off tackle here. We're starting to move the ball after really having a difficult time the first quarter and a half.
And you're getting Mike Hart into the passing game here, too.
Well, Mike makes a great individual effort here. Spinning out of there and getting down. Antonio Bass there trying to block somebody. And then we have to settle for a field goal, and that'll tell you how hard it was. If you saw two very good kickers in this game miss some kicks at the north end.
So it's a 3-0 game at half. As you're walking off, do you think it's going to be 10, first 1 to 17 wins, or do you think there's going to be more points?
Well, I told our team, you know, we're going to have to score some touchdowns because Penn State's too good, too explosive. Michael Robinson is just too good to hope that you can win 10-3 or 10-7.
You turned out to be a prophet. When we come back, we'll take a look at the exciting second half. But first, we hear from youngster Jamar Adams, and Penn State's quarterback Michael Robinson was a tough customer.
With Michael Robinson, you have to read your keys. I mean, you have to read your keys. If you don't, he's gonna make you pay. But and also, he's a great thrower, and he can move. So it just makes you heighten your senses just a little more.
That's just calm demeanor, and you just got to go out and know you're going to make a play and get in that end zone. And that's just the kind of guy I am. I'm not going to give up and try to lead this team to a victory.
Well, the second half was an absolute beauty. 3-0 at halftime. You come out in the second half, and you've had trouble in the third quarter in your first possession. In this game, you got it done.
Well, we really played probably the best third quarter in terms of offensive football we've had all year.
Did you take an emphasis on that and tell the guys this third quarter we've got to play
well?
Well?
I think our offensive coach has made a big point of it. Here we start out with running the ball with Michael Hart. Our offensive line, as the game wore on, did a good job. Here's a great push from the left side. Stanovich was running the off-tackle play.
Boy, Kevin Grady's running
and Kevin Grady did some great things in this game.
Then this is a great throw by Henny to your tight end.
Well, you talk about making a great throw for a first down inside the 5-yard line.
That's on 3rd and 10.
A big play, because now on 1st and goal, we run the isolation play. Will Paul's in there, Steno, and we get in the end zone. But the biggest play of the drive probably was a 3rd down pass to Eckert on 3rd down.
Right.
Tyler looked the ball in, and this is one of the weird plays of the game, Jim, because we have a young cornerback who sees the ball on the ground, and he comes up, and they hit another little freshman, and Jamar Adams hustling over saves a touchdown.
And here again in the red zone, these plays turn out to be huge because you stop them.
Well, you see Terrence Taylor in there giving us some good looks, and Lamar comes up with his one of 4 tackles for losses, and there Jamar Adams makes a great play to keep him out of the end zone. And our defense, after giving up a big play, holds Penn State to a field goal.
That makes it 10-3, and we move to the 4th quarter. And then all bets are off because the 4th quarter becomes
the wildest 4th quarter I can ever remember.
And here's their one big running play that gets out of it.
Well, we let the ball outside the defense, and here Leon Hall hustling over makes a good play to give us a place to stand.
But they get the quarterback draw. And you said your defense was really called for that play, but you had one missed assignment.
We had a good defense call for the draw specifically. One guy didn't get the call, so we had 2 guys outside instead of a guy down inside who would have been in position to make the play.
Now, the first play after they tie it up, and this happens.
Well, this is another crazy play because it's a close call here, but the defensive back from Penn State made a great play.
Chad's got to get down there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's using his shoulder, the arm that he is possessing the ball with, and he's just got to get down on the ground.
And then the extra point gets botched, but their kicker runs it in for 2 points.
Yeah, that's one time in this game I'm thinking
this is like when
fate is against us.
You're thinking that it's Murphy's Law time, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you talk about 40 seconds of bad things happening to a team. It happened right there, but we come right back, get good field position on Steve Breskin's kickoff return, get a draw play in there, and then a great call here. We hadn't thrown the ball deep all day long. Great protection, and I think that's one of the big things as we look back in this game. Our offensive line against a great front four did a great job protecting the quarterback.
And then you go for 2 to tie it up, and you get it, and that's a huge 2-point conversion considering what happens in the game.
No question. And our coaches, we always go into the game with a couple of 2-point conversions, and that one was well designed and well executed. Here, Alan Branch hustling around, and Lamar Woodley makes a great play.
That's on a 3rd and 9, so this gets you the ball back late in the game.
Yep, it's exactly, the crowd was into the game. On a big 3rd down play, we had Jason Avon for a 1st down, and then Kevin Grady here giving us hard running, coming out the other end. Leo Hennige's getting some movement up front, and Garrett makes a great kick, 45 yards, Jim.
47.
47, I'm sorry.
And that gives you the 3-point lead, 21-18, and they've used all their timeouts, and here they come on a drive that ultimately gets them the lead. But, no, excuse me, this is the interception.
Yeah, well, this is a great play by Leon Hall. We get a penalty call here. A holding penalty cost us 10 yards, and this is a series I would like to have back.
Yeah, strategically you said you didn't
should have been more aggressive there. We left, and now our defense is in a position where they've got to stop for 4 downs. Here on 3rd down and 7 or so.
That's actually the 4th down point.
The 4th down play. Michael Robinson made just a great run. Here we get the receiver has position. Leon's getting a great break on the ball, but he gets here a little bit early, so now they got a 1st down and goal. And we miss a tackle there. I think our outside rusher going up the field a little bit too much because he's thinking pass. And now it looks bleak.
You're down 4, and you got less than a minute left. You need a kick return, and you get it.
Well, Jim, they're kicking into the wind, so we feel the ball out on the 6-yard line. Some very good blocks there. Tyler Ecker and guys hustling around, and Breston makes a great individual effort. At this point, we couldn't have won the game without the play by our kickoff.
And it changes. If you're starting from the 48, you're
no
changing.
Question, because now you've got to throw deep passes. Here we hit the sideline. Jason does a great job staying in bounds there, and every second counts, Jim.
And here you go with a great play to draw on 3rd and 1 to Mike Hart.
Well, just a great job of getting extra yards and then fighting to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
And now there's just 1 second left, Coach.
1 second left. Good protection. He threw a laser there. I'll tell you that.
And the other thing, people don't realize the pattern has to be right, because you've got your tight end running in the flat, which pulls the corner wide and gives Chad that lane, didn't it?
Well, and the truth is everybody's got to execute perfectly. The guy going to the flat's got to be hustling to get him out of there, because if he doesn't hustle, there's a guy standing in the lane. And Chad has to make a decision, and he doesn't have much time, and if he makes the wrong decision, we lose the game.
I talked to you after the game, and you were talking a little bit about Chad was smiling and having some fun in there when that. Tell the story about when Terry Malone was in there and it was late and things were getting kind of crazy and Terry was talking to him.
You know, we're huddled up as an offensive team at one of the timeouts, and Terry says, "Isn't this fun?" and it was the perfect thing to say, because you don't see Henny smile much in the course of a game. He smiles normally about as much as I do.
And that's very
Terry,
rarely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jim.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. So, but Terry said the perfect thing at the right time, and I think it certainly didn't hurt, and I think it probably helped a lot.
As you look back on this game again, and you said it some in the beginning of the show, we saw you in the locker room, the resiliency and the fact that the character of this team, they've been down, they've had a lot of bad things happen to them, and yet they have still come back and played when things look like it's going against them.
Well, Jim, it's hard when you lose a game like we did last week. That's a heartbreaking loss, and kids are 18, 19, 20 years old, and it's hard to bounce back. We just try to convince them, hey, we can turn this around, but we got to have great work ethic and great practices, and we did. And I hand that credit to the seniors, to our coaches. I think this is as tough a week as we've had, and to be able to come out of it with a win the way we did, something that we're going to remember forever.
So are 111,000 people who watched that game at the Big House on Saturday. When we come back, we will scout the Iowa Hawkeyes. But first, we hear from the game-winning guy, Mario Manningham, who said, "You've got to stay positive."
Yeah, the biggest thing, you just never lose faith. We just never lost faith. We just build together, bad things happen, we just build it back up.
we love going on the road. You know, there's nothing like playing in the big house, but going on the road, you know, we love to get booed and we love to quiet teams down. And it's just great to take over stadiums, and we're gonna try to do that this weekend.
Michael Hart's going to get his opportunity to hear some boos because you go into now Kinnick Stadium in Iowa. That's a tough place to play. And Iowa is a good football team who still has their own designs on a Big Ten title.
There's no question. And they're getting better every week. They're getting healthy, and they've done a great job. If you look at statistically in the red zone, they're number one in the Big Ten offensively in the red zone and defensively.
And Iowa's a tough place to play, and they have good players. Let's not kid anybody. They get some guys that can play, don't they?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And they're tough. They're well coached. They're competitive guys. They've got great pride in their program. And I think it all starts Drew Tate, outstanding quarterback. There's no question about that.
And you really like their skilled guys. You like Albert Young, and the upcoming week, take a look at Clinton Solomon, their receiver.
Well, in our game a year ago, they were really banged up the running back position. This guy, Young, is having an exceptional season. And this Clinton Solomon is special. I mean, you got to know where he is, and you got to tackle him. He's 6'3", 195 pounds. He can run like the wind.
And everybody talks about Ohio State's linebackers, but you know what? Iowa's got two of them that are about as good.
Hodge and Greenway, it seems like they've been there for 20 years, but they're outstanding football players. There's a lot of great linebackers in this conference, but there's no two that are any better than those two.
And at quarterback, Jovan Johnson leads the team with a couple of interceptions.
Well, Jim, Iowa is really on the move, and Kirk's got them going, and this is going to be one of those games that you got to go in and fight your heart out and try to find a way to win.
And coming off a game like the Penn State game, and you go on the road, we've talked before, emotionally, week in, week out, it's tough to get up. But this is a game where you must be and match their intensity, and they will be intense.
Well, Jim, when you look at the Big Ten Conference now, there's nobody left undefeated, and we're only halfway through the season. So it tells you how hard it is, and it's particularly hard to win on the road.
For you against Iowa, the defense, I think, has been playing wonderfully since the second half of the Notre Dame game. Are you still working offensively to be a little more consistent, you think?
Well, there's no question that we struggled, and we have struggled. I think we'll gain some confidence, but we're not where we need to be, and that's what we need to do this week. We need to have another great week of practice, but we need to do some things so that offensively we can protect our defense. That first half, we just left our defense out there too long.
All right, we will see if they get that done next week. It'll be Michigan versus Iowa. Make sure you join us right here, same time, same place, on Michigan Replay.